I request students to settle there. Good afternoon all. It's my pleasure to invite and welcome the technical session speakers. As a resource person, my research supervisor, Dr. R. Nilla Madam, is going to handle this technical session only. Contemporary perspectives in commerce. And for this session, Dr. Hari sir is the chairperson of this technical session. So I would like to welcome Madam to take over the dais for the technical session 1. Please.
First of all, I would like to congratulate the conference organizers to choose this particular topic, that is contemporary perspectives in social science and commerce, along with physical education and other things. Since I am belonging to commerce department, so I wanted to give a speech of recent trends, issues and future direction in the commerce field. So I would like to begin with a quote. The biggest part of digital information, digital transformation is changing the way we think. So, in case of the recent trends in business finance, I wanted to point out certain aspects the students plus the young research scholars. So, in the recent trends in business and finance, I would like to classify several important parts. The first thing is the digital transformation. Second one is integration of fintech and financial institutions. IPO of finance for corporates, FPOs, corporate bond market, private equity, and mergers and acquisitions. So recent trends in business and finance are dominated by the integration of artificial intelligence, accelerated digital transformation, and a focus on sustainability. So companies are leveraging AI for operational efficiency. Companies are leveraging AI for operational efficiency and predictive analysis, while finance functions are shifting towards the strategic, data-driven decision-making, embedded finance, and advanced agile planning to navigate economic uncertainty. So first of all, the first transformation is digital transformation. So it is the integration of digital technology into all areas of business, fundamentally changing how we operate and deliver value to customers. So before 20 years, if you see, there is no concept of online shop. Okay, after 20 years only, we are able to engage the specific transaction called online shop. So through one click of a mobile phone, we can able to buy the product through online shop. So how is it possible in the sense through the digital transformation? So there are certain significant aspects available in case of digital transformation. Improved efficiency and reduced cost, enhanced customer experiences, data-driven decision-making, business model and innovation and growth, operational agility, empowered workers. So in case of improved efficiency and reduced cost, most of the organization, they are not only having the traditional form of business, they have the online mode of delivering the customer services. So how it is possible in this, and they wanted to increase the efficiency in the business level. So everybody are transforming the business through online. Then the second one, enhanced customer experiences. In Bangalore, if you see some of the important malls like Mall of Asia or Orient Mall or all the multiplex malls and all, if you get inside the mall, you can able to experience the 360-degree of experience for all your shopping requirements. Say for example, if you are owning a house or if you wanted to construct the house, if you have a blueprint of the house, if you go into the mall and if you give the picture of the blueprint in this, then you can able to experience that hologram or the 360-degree of experience, how you can able to fix your furniture, how you can able to fix your interiors inside the house. So all these things are possible through the digital transformation. Say data-driven decision making. So once you started stepping into the digital platform, so not only in the form of online shopping and other, if you're stepping into the LinkedIn or if you're stepping into the Coursera or not, your personal data will be stored in the digital platform so that for your future purpose also you can able to go through any of the This is also possible through the digital transformation. Then many businesses are moving towards the digital formation in order to show the efficiency and operational efficiency in their business. Then second part of the recent trend is integration of fintech and financial institutions. So broadly, the financial technology can apply to any innovation in how people transact the business, from the invention of digital money to double entry bookkeeping system. So that is one picture is available here. So it is completely talking about the fintech industry. So if you just look at the picture, so that is a fintech innovation. In that fintech innovation, we have the peer-to-peer payment system also. We have the digital wallet, we have a digital money, direct payment is possible, personal data protection is possible, future of money, digital loan, digital signature. So all these things are important component of fintech technology. So for our everyday, day-to-day life also, we are using the GPay, PhonePe and other technologies. So all these things are integration of the fintech technology in our day-to-day routine. So we have an important concept called digital wallet. So if you have started purchasing through any other shopping app like Myntra or Amazon or Flipkart in the sense, for each and every shopping experience will be allocated with one digital coin or a coupon. So that coin will be stored in the wallet, that is a digital wallet, that's not a physical form of wallet. And for your subsequent purchase and for your next purchase, you can able to use the amount or the coupon, whatever available in your wallet. So all these things are possible through the fintech integration. Then who all is going to getting benefited from the fintech? There are 4 aspects available here. So business to business for bankers, clients of business to business bank, business to consumer for small businesses and consumers. So here, who getting the benefit from the fintech in the sense? There is one emerging concept called robo-advice. Even in the recent Tamil Nadu election, for election campaign also, one particular party utilized the robo-advice. The robo, they have gone for an election campaign to support for one particular party. So robo-advisors and all, they are straight away using, their robo-advisors and all, they are straight away used by the business firm in order to use their technology. Not only robo-advisors, hologram also possible. Without the presence of one particular person, you can able to create an image kind of a thing using hologram, and using that hologram technology, you can able to bring the presence of the person. So that is also possible through fintech integration. And apart from that, there are certain important apps like Grow app, Angel Fund app, KF Fintech, and Set of Funds and all. They are using their fintech technology for the investment related purpose. So if you have started making investment through this particular app in the sense, through the digital mode only, you can able to analyze the risk and return of your investment. So all these things are possible through the fintech. The next important recent trend is IPO finance for corporates. So many of the commerce students are aware about the IPOs. IPOs are nothing but initial public offer. So nowadays it also become a recent trend in the financing. So IPO financing for corporate, it involves the short-term funding from the banker side or for NBFCs to enable the high net worth individual or corporate investors bid for shares in initial public offering, typically large applications over 2 lakh. And this particular loan, it is available from the minimum days of 7 days and to the maximum days of 45 days with the interest rate of 8.5% to 12% of interest rate. So this is a recent trend here. So if you look at the IPO process here, there will be a planning stage. From the planning stage, normally the investment bankers will be hired by the company, and after hiring them, they have to comply with the regulatory filing formalities, and after that they have to advertise themselves in the official gazette and in the newspaper. Then they will launch the IPO, and after launching that, they will go for the IPO listing. For all this entire process, the financing is possible nowadays. So how it is possible in the sense, it is completely a short-term form of financing. Maximum of 45 days of credit is possible for this IPO. And what are the benefits of investing in IPOs? So as like the digital transformation, here also some of the benefits are enjoyed by the high net worth individuals and the investment bankers. So raising of funds is very easy for the companies if the companies are going for the IPO funding process. And the important note here is stock, even for the investment banker and for the investors and any other person who are involving in this IPO process, which one is the medium in this? The stock is acting as a medium to transact and complete the business. And there is a greater opportunity available to exit the business also in this particular point, because after the completion of the IPO process, the high net worth individual individual, they can get eliminated from the entire process. Then market valuation and visibility. Using the stock market operations, open market valuation and visibility, you can able to gain the benefit out of this IPO funding, and the companies can able to promote their brands through the IPO. And finally, optimization of capital cost. So in order to go with a normal kind of IPO, the companies have to spend more. So in order to avoid that, most of the companies are preferring this IPO short-term funding. The next one is the follow-on public offer. So soon after the completion of the IPO, that is initial public offer, the next work done by most of the companies is follow-on public offer. So in case of this follow-up public offer, it is typically called as a secondary offering. When a company that has already gone for the public via IPO, so they are planning to gain the additional amount of capital to the general public. So that is called as FPO. So companies decided to go for public for many reasons. The reasons can be expansion of the business, or they wanted to complete the repayment schedule completely, or they wanted to increase the debt equity ratio in the business. So for all these reasons, companies are going for FPO. And for this FPO also, many of the investment bankers are ready to invest in this FPO. The next important category is corporate bond market. So in case of the corporate bond market, morning when Hari sir was speaking, he was speaking about the GDP and other growth and all. So particularly in case of corporate bond market, if you see the previous year trend and with the current year trend, during the financial year 2025, corporate bond market alone, the performance of the corporate bond market alone, $53.6 trillion, it was a turnover in the Indian corporate market. But if you see the previous year, in the previous year it was just $2.56 trillion. Okay, it is $217 trillion rupees. If you see the dollar value, it is $2.56. It is inclusive of commercial paper, corporate bond, treasury bill, state development loan, certificate of deposit, and apart from the government securities. In this, if you see, commercial bond market mostly having the majority share of government securities, the maximum percentage of 45%. The next one is private equity. So this is also one emerging concept in case of the recent trends in business finance. So the company that make investment in private companies, it is called as private equity firm. So essentially what these private equity firms will do in this is they try to acquire the underperforming companies. So after acquiring the underperforming company, they try to spend for the underperforming company. They try to develop the company. After the development, at one point of time, once the company started getting the market EPS in the market in this, after getting the profit, the companies may turn on to the company. So this is the concept of private equity. So additionally, the firm was a financial strategic support to the companies to grow. So how it will function in the sense, normally the private equity firm, they will purchase underdeveloping companies. After the acquisition, they will try to make an investment in the underperforming companies. So soon after that, they will try to make the companies listed in the stock market. After the listing, how they will make a profit in this, they will try to help the company to improvise the profit. After improvisation of the profit, they will sell it at the open market with a higher price. So with the negotiation at the higher price, private equity firms now they are getting a profit over it. Then another important concept is mergers and acquisition. Any idea about mergers and acquisition? Merger is nothing but when any one company wanted to collaborate with other company, then two different firms they can join together and they can work on a future deal. So this is called as merger. So under the category of merger, we have an acquisition, we have a collaboration, we have a consolidation procedure, we have amalgamation. So all those concepts come under mergers and acquisition concept only. So what is the significance of mergers and acquisition in this? The important point is synergies. Synergies are nothing but once after the merger, both the companies are going to enjoy the benefit with the goodwill or with the greater sum value enjoyed by the combined firm. Then economics of scale. So both the companies can able to enjoy the economy by the way of using the capital allocation, using the operational efficiency and financial capital. Then market expansion. So in order to expand the market, some of the Indian firms they try to collaborate with the foreign firm. In that way also they can able to expand the business. Then increased market share. Soon after the merger, both the companies will become one company. So after it become a one company, the market share of the company will increase. Then risk diversification is possible in order to reduce the amount of risk enjoyed by one particular company. Some of the companies are there going for the merger and acquisition concept. And it enhances the financial capacity of the firm, and the companies can able to enjoy the tax benefit if the foreign company, after collaboration, if they are located in Indian company. And what are the issues and challenges faced by all these firms when the companies are adopting the recent trends in business? The major problem is unemployment and the creation of decent jobs. So as you know very well, nowadays the IT sector is declining the stage. So in case of the IT sector, there is no prospect is available to look after the job. So unemployment opportunities are increasing day by day. So due to this, many challenges are faced by the companies also when the company wanted to transform the business from the traditional level to digital transformation. This is obviously they have to exit some of the physical mode of employees. So this is one major challenge. And cyber security threat is available when you are converting your business from the traditional mode to digital mode. Digital platforms and all, they are acquiring your data, they are using your personal data. And due to that, digital threat is available, cyber security problems also may arise. Then talent shortages due to this AI and leverage-oriented AI this world. We are losing our individual capabilities. We are losing our individual perspective. So talent shortages are providing in the market, and non-bank financial intermediation also possible in case of the private equity and in case of the IPOs, FPOs and all. We are including the entities like investment bankers and other people. So direct contact is not possible. And apart from that, sustainable finance and ESG reporting, and one another threat is climate and natural disaster. Okay, so all these things are issues faced by Indian employees and Indian companies. And what are the opportunities available even at this level, even after facing the issues and challenges? So if you see there, the first opportunity is agentic AI system. The second one is real world asset tokenization and embedded finance, private credit acceleration. Embedded finance is nothing but combining all your finance form of needs at one particular route. That is called as embedded finance. And apart from that, many of the companies are using this agentic AI system. Using the agentic AI system, without the presence of the employees, you can able to complete one particular task. So all these things are various opportunities available in business. And how it can relate to the future aspects of business and finance. Open banking and APIs are possible. Now most of the companies are preferring to go with the sustainable marketing and sustainable reporting technique. So green banking concepts are possible. Artificial intelligence, it is a blooming market trend. So most of the companies are trying to include the artificial intelligence concept in their business. Machine learning, RegTech is nothing but regulation technique. Then cyber security and data protection. Decentralized finance, previously everything will come under one particular umbrella, so that form they don't want to continue. So there is a proposal that decentralized form of financing is possible. Then blockchain and cryptocurrency, digital banking, neo banking, embedded finance. So all these things are like the futuristic aspect. Any companies can use all these concepts in order to include in their business, so that the companies can go in a contemporary form of a business. So in order to conclude, the evolving landscape of business and finance is being shaped by the rapid digitalization, financial innovation, and global integration. So without the transformation, the companies cannot survive. So from my perspective, the best way to predict the future is to create it. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for an informative and thought-provoking session. Your practical examples and clear explanation really helped us to connect the theory with real-world application. We are grateful for the time and effort you invested in sharing your knowledge with us. Now the session is open for discussion. If the audience has any questions regarding the technical session, please free to ask the question.
Any questions on technical session 1?
Now I request Professor Jagannath R. Sir to propose vote of thanks regarding the technical session 1.
My good and sincere gratitude towards the technical session one handled by the resource person, Dr. R. Ramila Madam. Madam, thank you for delivering a very informative information regarding the digital transformation of business in today's era. Thank you, madam. And I'd like to thank Professor Ali sir who has graced the program and chaired this technical session now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for expressing the gratitude. Now it's time to start technical session 2. The resource person for the technical session 2 is Dr. S.Y. Mukuli, Senior Professor, Department of History and Archaeology, Karnataka University, Dharwad. I request Professor Jagannath R. to welcome the resource person for the technical session.
Students, they have arranged a delicious lunch. Don't worry. After this technical session, we will allow you to the lunch. The technical session 2. This person is Dr. S.Y. Mukuli sir, Senior Professor, Department of History and Archaeology, Karnataka University, Dharwad. This session is chaired by the Dr. R. Ramila Madam. I kindly request Dr. Mukuli sir to take over the dais. Kindly excuse. We have a felicitation now for the guests and speakers. After this felicitation, the technical session 2 will be continued.
ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿದ ಅತಿಥಿ ಮಹೋದಯರಿಗೆ ಈಗ ಗೌರವ ಸನ್ಮಾನ.
Dear audience, it is about to start the second technical session. The resource person, Dr. Esma Producer, will take over the dais.
Waiting to get for his brother. But I want to do especially challenges the issue and social sciences, discipline circles. I am very happy to be the part of this national conference. I am also the product of KLE Society from the Pani College. We are everybody all know that in fact, history subject, history discipline was very active before independence. I mean, historians are very active during freedom struggle. And many works, many writings were there on freedom movement of India, national movement of India. And compared to other disciplines, social science disciplines, historians are very much busy in rewriting history, in constructing history. So Ramchandra Kumar made this remark that historians are very busy till the attainment of India's independence. After independence, historians became inactive and other social science disciplines like economics, political science, they became the scholars who involved in the social science disciplines other than history, they became very active. After independence, nation building work started. As a result, economics, political scientists, they became very active, even sociologists. So, and one more thing I would like to mention here. History of Indian freedom struggle. It was very lengthy debate, lengthy discourse. there are more than 500 works on writings on 1857 vote on various dimensions of 1857 vote. So, what I mean to say here, there are many works that discusses not only the India's struggle for independence, but it also will also discuss the socio-cultural background of India, socio-cultural history of India, even economic history of India, and the colonial policies, the impact of colonial policies. And today, Professor Hari has mentioned some of the issues how British converted Indian economy. So, in fact, ours was an independent economy, but British made it a dependent economy. British were depending on us. There was a frame theory by Dadabhai Naoroji, M.G. Rande, R.C. Datta, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, and many others. So, there was a trade of wealth from India, and this is how Indian economy, though it was independent economy, it was converted into dependent economy by the Britishers. So, there is a lengthy debate, discourse on freedom movement of people, and that reflects all contemporary issues. Whatever issues we face today, we will get answer in history. That's why E.H. Carter very beautiful. He gave very beautiful definition of history. History is nothing but a continuous dialogue between present and the past, and it will guide the future. So, in view of this, I thought of speaking about the various dimensions of Indian national movement, especially ideological dimensions of Indian national movement. And I choose this because another reason behind this choosing of this topic is almost all students are very much familiar with the Indian independence struggle. At least we will celebrate once in a year 15th August, India's independence. That's how you got somehow acquainted with, you heard about this aspect. Professor Hari has mentioned some issues pertaining to economic development of India. Ours is the largest growing economy. As far as construction is concerned, investment is concerned, fourth largest. But at the same time, there are challenges for us. More particularly, if you look at the global hunger index, as far as the nutritious food is concerned, India ranks 102nd rank out of 123 countries. Our rank is 102. So, another very serious issue is there. We are talking about the world guru, global leader, leadership, Vishwa Guru. But how much we are investing, how much budget is allocated as far as the education is concerned. Education and research are very important aspects. If you want to grow as a global leader, if you want to emerge as a global leader, and very unfortunately, in American budget, America allocates 20% budget as far as education and research is concerned. But ours is near about 5%, less than 5%. So this is a serious issue. Having just 5% allocation of budget as far as research and education is the education sector. You think of how can we become world leader? It's a chocolate thing. And in fact, Professor Hari has given very elaborative statistical information as well as data. What are the challenges as far as the India to emerge as a global leader? And he has also given solutions. So, all these things are very serious things. We are very proud that if India will emerge as a global leader, we are happy. But the serious issue is about basically, you know that our pension problem is there today. When India was underdeveloped country, all used to get pensions. We are saying third, fourth, globally emerging country, but we are unable to pay the pensions. These are the serious things we have to ponder. So, emergence of India as a global leader is very much essential. We are very proud of it. We must emerge as a global leader during Buddhist period, ancient period. We are global leader. Nalanda, Takshashila were the centers of international studies. World, about 20,000 students used to stay there from various parts of the world. It was an attraction, educational hub. India was. That should emerge again. That should repeat again. But that has to face. That requires a serious thinking about it, and we have to redress those challenges. So, in view of all these things, what I would like to say here, basically, Indian national movement got multi-dimensional ideology, and this ideology evolved, multifaceted ideology evolved when our movement started emerging, and it got a change in facets in the course of its history. We also see in the beginning Raj Narayan Bose and Radha Mukherjee. First, they gave a very cultural dimension. They provided cultural dimension to Indian national movement. Hindu Vedas were organized in the 1860s. And there are scholars like Bipin Chandra Chatterjee, leaders like Bipin Chandra Chatterjee, who argued that in fact there was a debate whether to accept the Western model as far as India's achievement of India's independence is concerned, or to accept indigenous model. So, Bipin Chandra Chatterjee viewed that we don't want German model, we don't French model, British model. We want to have our own model, indigenous. So, this seems to be, what we say, cultural revival. And for that, our 19th century social reform movement provided very solid base. Whether it was the Arya Samaj movement led by Dayanand Saraswati, even Swami Vivekananda, many others. At the same time, there are leaders, thinkers, who thought of Western model like Rajaram Mohan Rai. Was very much influenced by the Western model, Western education. And he wanted that we should keep away from the people, especially darkness of very cultural, rigid practices. So, when the moderate leaders, liberal leaders started their movement, and they thought of only political ideology. They thought of only political emancipation, political democracy, what is a political liberation. So the moderate leaders, liberal leaders, early liberal leaders, they don't want to mix up with the political problems, political issues that were prevalent in Indian society. Their priority was only political emancipation. They don't want to mix up with the social issues, burning issues, the issues of women, gender discrimination, widowhood, sati system. All these prevailing issues were even caste system, untouchable. So once there was an attempt by one member in the very session of the Congress, and at that time, Dadabhai Naoroji opposed. He said that our organization, Indian National Congress, is meant for only political actions. We don't want to discuss the social issues, social problems. So, among the moderate leaders, there are some leaders like Mahadev Govinda Rande, M.G. Rande. He wanted that, along with political freedom, political liberation, we must achieve social liberation, social reform. And he had that social reformation, social reforms should be the center around which all reforms should start. That should be the focal point, social reform. And in the very fourth session of the Indian National Congress, he used to organize social conferences, but there was a leaders like R. Gangadhar Tilak and many others. They opposed the very social conferences. We should stick up. We should concentrate political reforms only. And so this is how, among moderates, it was only Rande who thought of bringing social transformation along with political freedom. So this is how, later what happens now, there was a compromise. Rande has to make compromise. And it was neglected. Then during the extremist phase, even during that phase only, during modern phase only, there was a great leader like Mahatma Phule. Congress was established in 1885. Mahatma Phule passed away in 1890. So he knows the Congress activities, and he suggested them, you should practice what you preach. So what he wanted to know, basically, we should prepare social reforms, social equality. Without equality, there is no meaning to liberty. So that's why Mahatma Phule, though he was outside the Congress, he pressurized his colleagues, his lieutenants, his junior lieutenants to address first social problems. Unless you solve social problems, you cannot widen the very base of the Indian national movement. Having social issues, having social problems, whether it was a caste issue, gender issue, or it was criminal issue, even for that matter, unfacility like this. Unless you solve these problems, you cannot widen with the very base of the Indian national. So that's why Mahatma Phule, and it was Mahatma Phule who submitted memorandum to Hunter Commission in 1882. And this is how the tradition of submitting memorandum to the Britishers was influenced the moderns. Even for that matter, Rajaram Mohan Roy also submitted petition to the British government long back in 1827, 20s. And that was also followed by the Congress, especially modern times. So the two great leaders' tradition, the practice of submission, petition, memorandum, were further carried by the modern times, copied by the modern times. Now coming to the, you all know the extremist phase of Indian national movement. And during this phase, 3-4 leaders dominated the very political scene. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Lala Lajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra, Arvind Ghosh. Swaraj, Shivaji, and Swadeshi. These were the three ideals of Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Bal Gangadhar Tilak said that Swaraj is my birthright. But as far as social issues are concerned, almost all extremist leaders were rigid. They want very slow social reformation. But they want very faster, I can say very fast political reforms. They want independence immediate, Swaraj immediate. So, there was an issue regarding the marriage consent bill 1891. That is Bombay presidency, one of it. They wanted to fix the age of the marriage, especially women. That issue was also opposed by Bal Gangadhar Tilak, citing the reason that it was a direct interference of the British. So his stand was, we don't want the British interference as far as our social reformation is concerned. We should initiate ourselves. And this is how Bal Gangadhar Tilak and the extremist leaders were very slow as far as social reforms are concerned. Their priority was political independence. And they want very immediate political reforms. Swaraj very immediate. After this extremist phase, you know that Mahatma Gandhi entered into the political scene of India. Mahatma Gandhi was a compromise between the extremist and the moderate methods, ideologies. It was a sort of compromise. Mahatma Gandhi undertook social reforms also. He initiated social reforms also. Because he wanted to convert Indian national movement into mass movement. These are the very mass techniques. And because of these mass techniques, he was able to convert middle class, educated middle class movement of the Congress into mass movement. That really goes to Mahatma Gandhi. So this is how. But the very thing is that Mahatma Gandhi looked the problem of fraternity and casteism, the problems, issues regarding caste system, from the modern ground, from the spiritual point of view, rather than legal point of view, constitutional point of view. So, though he initiated some measures as far as social reformation was concerned, whether it was the Karikokara programs, Harijanakara programs, Harijan paper, he started, he initiated. And he also involved women in the national movement. Women were allowed to work in the ashramas equal to what it is given for the women. So even he was very radical thoughts about women regarding caste system, anti-semitism after 1940s. After 1940s. But before 1940s, he was very radical and he was very much concerned about the political differences in comparison with the social differences. And he said that I am not built for social transformation work or academic work. Political action is my career. And this is how whatever he could do, he could organize, or you can say, widen the very base of the Indian national movement through his techniques, mass techniques. But what happens now, he was very concerned about the primary issues like attainment of India's national movement. But there are also certain secondary issues like linguistic state problem, problem of untouchable community, the problem of peasants, problem of problems, class issue, problem of working class, problem of women. Those remain unresolved. That's why till today, even after attainment of independence, 75 years of independence, we are unable to solve the problems of peasants. Peasants are committing suicides every day. There are issues like unemployment. It doesn't mean that we should blame Gandhi only, but what I need to say here that his preference was only political emancipation rather than social emancipation. And he said that soon after independence we can solve all these issues within short span of time. Socialism. But that did not happen even after that. So, Pandit Nehru, Jawaharlal Nehru, his preference was economic emancipation. He thought of economic emancipation. And he was influenced by Marxism, socialist thought. And he stood for economic emancipation of the country. But he also, after independence, after becoming Prime Minister, he did not follow 100% socialist thoughts. He remained he just said that we are just following socialist pattern, what it's called, socialist pattern of society. So, he also made compromise after independence, when he became the Prime Minister. Before independence, his thoughts were very radical. There should not be any, problem of the peasants. There should not be any harassment of the peasants or the zamindars, landlords. He was against that. But after independence, he also made little compromise. He stood for just socialist pattern of society, not complete socialism or communism or Bolshevism, what we see in the USSR and Chile. So, there was another leader who influenced the during the movement, even after the movement, even today also, that is Baba Saheb. These were the three stalwarts, Gandhi, Nehru, Ambedkar. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, as that of Mahatma Phule, and N.T. Rande, he stood for social emancipation. He viewed democracy in a very different way. According to Baba Sahib Ambedkar, it is not just by the people, of the people, for the people. What we define, especially a popular definition of Islam, democracy is by the people, of the people, for the people. But for Ambedkar, it was not so. Ambedkar says, democracy is not just like that, it is a associated way of life. Associated way of life. And it should be based on equality, liberty and fraternity. And he quotes the example of Western Europe. Because of liberalization, liberal policy in Western Europe, equality was lost. And ultimately, liberty was also lost. So what you want to say here, what I mean to say here that these must, especially the fraternity, that should be the basis of liberty and equality. Unless there is a fraternity, Andhutva, Sahodaratva, you cannot, these, what we say, liberty, equality will not sustain, will not develop. Then those things will collapse. At the very base, there should be fraternity. So that's why what we see in politics, one man, one vote, one vote. One man, one vote, one value. There is no different value to the poor's vote and between the poor's and the rich man's vote. Everyone's vote was similar, same way. But in economic life and in social life, there is no such values. Rich is treated differently, poor is treated differently, common man is treated differently. Recently, we have seen in the social media, even in the TV also, one common man, a villager, entered the mall last year in Bengaluru, and he was ill-treated by the watchman. That became a state news. So, what Ambedkar wanted, not only in politics, even in the economic life, in the social life also, there should be one man, one value, not just in the political life. That democracy he wanted. That is social democracy. Our very social setup, our very social system is undemocratic. Here, in India, whenever there are issues, whenever there are crises, what will happen? Public will respond. Public opinion will emerge. But in India, what will happen? Those opinions were cast based. So in India, that's why what we say, public opinion is not possible, caste opinion is possible. We are very much keen. We are very much interested in caste issue. If something happened to our own caste man, we will respond it immediately. So this is how public opinion is a very important aspect in the success of the democracy. But here what happens? You could take example even in the elections also, we vote our own caste man, we favor our own caste man rather than one is who is very honest. So this is how Baba Sahib Ambedkar says that without equality, liberty or freedom has no meaning. Without equality, freedom has no meaning. That's why there are various dimensions of this Indian national movement. Earlier it was about cultural dimension, that is called cultural nationalism. Then it got the economic dimension, this poor orientation, socialist orientation, people orientation. It got. Then also it got political dimensions, looking at just political transformation of power. So that's why some people say that this is not nothing but transfer of power. This is not real independence, because still women, still working class, still peasant are suffering. Gandhiji, Swaraj is incomplete without what we say, upliftment of the untouchables. So Gandhiji said, without empowerment of the woman, the very Swaraj is incomplete. So that's why, in view of all these leaders, thinkers, oriented thoughts, I have presented before you the various dimensions of ideology of Indian national movement. And so these will, in fact, all these things will help us. History is always in fact, a very helpful subject. If you go through history, you will get solution to the present problems. For time information, most of the Supreme Court judges, they refer also to civic debates. Wherever there are crises, serious issues, constitutional issues, what were the discussions, especially regarding those issues? They used to refer the constitutional debates. Based on those debates, they used to decide they used to do the decisions. So that's why history will be the very helpful subject. It will solve whatever problem we are facing today. And if you want to achieve progress, you want to achieve become a number one emerging economy, number one economy, you must ponder over the history, and it will give some very valuable insights to what are the problems. With these three words, I stop here. I thank all the participants, organizers, Madam, Professor Vijayana, all the principal, staff, teaching fraternity, and the student friends for your patient care. Thank you, one and all.
I sincerely thank sir for your insightful session. Your expertise and clarity made complex concepts easy to understand. We are truly grateful for the time and effort for making this session meaningful. Now the session is open for discussion. If the audience has any questions, you are welcome to ask. Now I invite Professor Manjunath S, Physical Director, to propose vote of thanks for technical session 2.
अंदಕ್ಕೆ ಚಂದದ ಹೆಸರು ಭಾವಕ್ಕೆ ಭಾವನೆಯ ಉಸಿರು. ಅಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಚಂದದ ಹೆಸರು ಭಾವಕ್ಕೆ ಭಾವನೆಯ ಉಸಿರು. ಹೆಸರು ಉಸಿರುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಧ್ವನಿಯನ್ನು ತುಂಬಿಸಿ ಇತಿಹಾಸದ ಪುಟಗಳನ್ನ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಮಾಜ ಸುಧಾರಣಾ ಚಳವಳಿಯ ಚಿಂತಕರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥಗರ್ಭಿತವಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸಿದಂತ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ SY ಮುಗುಳಿ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೃದಯ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್.
Now it's time for the lunch break. After the lunch break, the technical session 3 will be going in the same hall. I request all the students and resource persons and also the paper presenters to be present here after lunch.
ಊಟ ಕಾಮನ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಕಡೆ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು.